That lets me know that when I'm working on the field for the Lord, it's not for me to look for blessings and benefits from other folk. Because sometimes people can't appreciate what you're doing, even if you're doing it for them. But God is faithful, and he'll always make sure that you get paid for your services, and every now and then he'll give you a bonus. Tell somebody, tell them I'm glad about it. Every now and then he'll give you just a little bit more. The Bible says that Boaz said, now I've been noticing that girl Ruth, and I want you to leave a little extra on the edges so that she can have more than just the normal. I want her to make more than minimum wage. I wish somebody heard me. I've been noticing, watch this, he says, and the thing that really is appealing to me, watch this, is the way she deals with her mother-in-law. Somebody's always watching you. Boaz said, I am impressed by the way she is in relationship with this older woman. I'm impressed with the way she listens to the wisdom of this older woman. I'm impressed by the way she cares for this older woman. And the Bible says in the New Testament that in the church, the older women ought to be advisors and counselors to the younger women. That's the reason why, old lady, it's best for you to appreciate the fact that God has brought you where he has brought you, and stop trying to be 20 when you're 65. I wish somebody heard what I said. I'm not trying to hurt your feelings, but your legs don't look as good in a mini dress at 70 that it did when you was 15. Talk back to me. Will you take that from a man? The older you get, the more seasoned you get. Watch this. And you ought to be able to show younger women how to grow. Watch this. How to grow old. Watch this. And not to grow old and feeble, but grow old in grace. Talk back to me in here. You ought to be able to show them that there's nothing wrong with going from 20 to 30 to 40 to 50 to 60 to 70 to 80. As long as God would give you life, you ought to show them that there's nothing wrong with growing older. Nothing wrong with dropping your hemline. Nothing wrong with having gray hair. Nothing wrong. Talk back to me if you can. Nothing wrong with having a story about being faithful to one man for over 50 years. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with raising your children in the fear and admonition of the Lord. Nothing wrong with giving them a whipping when they need it. Nothing wrong with having them make up their bed, wash the dishes, and put out the trash. Nothing wrong with that. These new jack mothers talking about, I just want my child to express themselves. They're expressing themselves when they say, yes, sir. Talk back. And no, ma'am. Talk back to me. Oh, yeah. Isn't that child cute? You better stop. Be careful. You watching these movies and the child talking back to the parents. And on TV shows, the child talking back to the parents. Sometimes child cussing. Little child. Isn't that cute? No, it's not cute. And if you don't curb that child's behavior while that child is still young, come on, you'll be like Naomi and Ruth standing over a grave too early, come on, or always going to see your son or daughter in the big house. He says, I'm noticing that relationship, and I notice that they have a strong relationship. And then Naomi, watch this, begins to advise Ruth of how to put herself in the position to be blessed. Can I tell you a few things that she tells her? I'm going to be out of your way in just a few minutes. She said, now, watch this. This is what you need to do. You need to find out, watch this, where and when he's going to be somewhere. Trying to hook her up now. I said, now, and make sure you're there. But she said, now, before you do that, make sure you wash yourself. Now, you might think you don't need to tell people that these days. But I hate to announce it, but there are some real nasty women in the 21st century. Talk back to me if you can. And there's really something wrong with you when you can't smell yourself. So not only, watch this, not only do you wash yourself, she said, anoint yourself with perfumes and get dressed for the occasion. Dress for the occasion. Dress for the occasion. You can't wear everything everywhere. I think I need to say it again. You can't wear everything everywhere. That's the reason why so many rape cases are thrown out. They asked the lady on the stand, said, baby, did you go out on this date? Yes, I did. So, yeah. But I told him no, okay? So what did you have on? Well, I had on this top, low, this, it was kind of low. Because if you have it, you ought to flaunt them. So yeah, and you know, and it was a broadless top, so I didn't have to have nothing. And what else did you have? I had on, you know, this mini skirt because, you know, I got nice legs. Okay, all right. And then I had my thong on. Walk with me here. I said, now, and this was your first date? Yeah, it was my first. And you didn't know the guy? No, this is our first time out. Where'd you meet him? I met him at the gas station pumping gas. He seemed to be a nice guy. This is your first date. You going out with somebody on your first date that you met at the gas station. Seemed like he was a nice guy because he was driving his mama's car, but he told you that it was his. It was a first date, and now here you are violated because nobody told you you don't wear everything everywhere. Talk back to me if you can. Because if you had somebody that cared about you, they would have stopped you before you went out the door and said, wait a minute, this is your first, you just met him at the gas station driving his mama's car. Come on back here, girl. You ain't wearing that out there. As a matter of fact, have him come in and sit down and let's talk to him for a few minutes because you may not be going out with him. See, we don't have them kind of parents no more. Told her how to dress. Then she told him, she said, listen, this is what I want you to do. I want you to wait till he finished eating and drinking. Mark the place where he's going to lay down. Watch this. And then when he's laying there, come and uncover his feet. Lay at his feet. Now, in the Oriental times, the woman would enter the bed not from the side, but from the bottom. As a respect and honor, they would enter from under the feet. But watch this. Naomi didn't say, lay down with him. She's trying to show how to get a husband now. She didn't say lay down with him. She said uncover his feet so that he'll know that your intention is for him to be your kinsman redeemer. Or that he would, watch this, he would step up to the plate and, watch this, and would redeem the land and marry you. Because, watch this, in the Bible days, watch this, Naomi lost everything when she left. And the only way she was going to get it back is that somebody in the family had to buy it back. And women were not allowed to redeem things during those days. And so she needed a kinsman redeemer. She said, now uncover his feet. The Bible says that when he awakened and saw her, he was shocked. And the Bible says that they both got up and left before he knew her. The word know in the Bible, in the Old Testament, means to have sex with. So watch this. The mother-in-law coached her on how to let the man know that you're interested without giving up the goods. I wish somebody heard what I said. The mother-in-law showed her how to put the sale sign on without saying try it and see if you like it. Talk back to me if you can. Because there are some exceptions to the rule, but for the most part, if you can get the milk free, it ain't no reason to buy the cow. Touch somebody, tell them I know that's right. There are some exceptions to the rule, but for the most part, if I can get everything that I ought to get from a woman without ever putting a ring on her finger, without ever being responsible, can I speak for the men? We will do it. Saved or unsaved. Speaking in tongues or not speaking in tongues. Deacon, preacher, choir member, musician, usher, don't make no difference. If you can get what you can get